Hello everyone, it's Elle. Welcome back. Let's get right into this because I have a lot of updates to do on all of these accounts, and I'm going to add a couple of notes and maybe do a couple of changes to some of the categories in the budget. I do have some overspends, absolutely have some. So we'll get right into all of that. So let's see here. My income, I want that to reflect in the new month. I wish I didn't get paid at the end of the month because I used that check in the first of the month and forward. So I just switch it out. It's okay. I did get some interest in the checking, but that does not go to the peace of mind. It's going to go to ready to assign. This was a reimbursement. And I changed it from saying Zelle for everyone because now I know who is sending me what. So brother, I only have one, and then you have sister one and sister two. I have a third sister, but she lives on her own. Okay. The transfer to the high yield was done. That was on the 1st. Allstate got paid on the 1st, but I want it to reflect last month since this is for last month's bill. Same thing with T-Mobile. So I'm going to change that out. And then for this, I should have $3,167.75. Perfect. I did go ahead and make the transfer to the high yield savings today. I didn't do it last month because I was going back and forth. This is the transfer that was coming out of the refund that I got, where in my original thought process, I was going to put $500 into savings and $300 for the dental surgeries. I flipped it, and then I flipped it again, and then I flipped it again, and I just couldn't make up my mind. And finally, I decided to fully flip it, and $500 is actually going for the surgeries and $300 for the high yield. So I'm going to put that in because even though I did it today, it wasn't like an instant transfer. So it's actually already approved and gone through and cleared in the bank. So I'm going to clear it here as well, which means $2,867 is my current balance. So let's go to the high yield. I have the interest that came in, 96 cents. That's good. The $100 that is auto transfer, and then the $300 from the transfer I just did today earlier. And I am so super happy. We are at $741.42 for the high yield savings. I started at, I believe, 169 and some change, and it's only been 3 months. It's not like a wow number. It could be higher if I didn't have like the car payments and the roof payments, among other things that have come up, but it is still just wonderful to see it growing little by little. I am over the moon at this point, so it's just fantastic. Okay, so that's reconciled. Let's go to my credit cards. These are paid, but I paid them today, so it's still going to show these amounts as the reconciling amounts at this time, and that's okay. They are paid though, so they'll go ahead and zero out in a bit. Not for long probably, because I'll probably use them again since I'm constantly using them. So okay. This Wondershare, this is the editing software that I use. I had like a free, what did they give, 7 days, and I was trying it out or something like that, and I like it. It works for what I needed. It's not too complicated. So I'm gonna put this on annual subscriptions. It's only a little less than 60. I don't know if that was a trial offer for the year. It could be, so it might be a little bit more. I'm not 100% sure right now, but I'll check that at a later date and update any of my notes that I put in there. I did go over on the gas. I didn't realize. It's like $5 over. I'm shocked. I don't know where I was going this whole entire time this month that I went over by $5, but it's okay. Food. And I believe, yes, so we should have 664 and 59 cents, which is correct. And then Chewy, I ordered yesterday. I'm changing out my cat's food. He's going from one dry food to a different one. So I like to mix them up for a couple of days so that he can get used to it before I fully transition. And I'm almost out of his old food, so I needed the new food here now. I'm also switching out his wet food. Both the new dry food and the new wet food are meant for like good digestion. He's been throwing up a little bit more than normal, so I want to see if this kind of helps him a little bit as well. So that one can pen for now. It's okay. And then let's go to Sapphire. Okay, so for Sapphire, this is actually going to be a split. Part of it goes to the home fund, and part of it is going to be reimbursements. So 40 is reimbursements, and 237 is for the home fund. And then this one also gets split. Groceries second half. I did change the names of the grocery categories, and reimbursements. So this is going to be 67 on the reimbursements and 67.59 on the groceries. And then this should be 221 and 66, which is good. I'm gonna go back here real quickly just to make sure everything is accurate. I believe so. I thought there was one more thing that I needed to update, but I'll probably see it when I'm looking at the actual budget, so that's okay. All right, so let's see here. Let's go back to March and clean it up. Okay, so groceries is a little bit out of what I thought. I knew I had overspent on it, but I don't think it was 158 total. Let me move this over to ready to assign. Let's see. What is this 40? This is that one. Didn't I change something with $40? The Amazon thing. Okay, let's take a look at that. Did I not do it right? Yes, I did. So here's the 40. And here's the 237. So why do I have an extra 40 there? It should cancel itself out. It's not canceling itself out. In the home fund, what is this one? Okay. Let me figure this out real quickly and I'll be right back. All right, I figured it out. It's the date. This date is wrong. This is when it cleared, but I made this order on the 30th. And he sent me the money for it. So that there we go. So that clears it out and that zeroes it out. Perfect. Okay. So let's see. Let's clear this overspending since it's so small. Okay. And then let's clear the annual the $56.99, the $5 that I went over. Yeesh. And then the $17 that I went over. March was a good month on some things, and it was not a great month on others. But that's okay. It's okay. We live and learn. All right. So all of these were paid. So I'm going to take this remaining out. As well as for beauty, because I didn't really use it this month. My hair is fuzzy. I have to go and get it done. Honestly, I don't know why I haven't gone yet, but all right. So I'm gonna leave what I funded for Stray Kids because I am gonna be using it this month alongside with I think another 50 that I'm gonna put in because I still haven't gotten a shirt that I want to wear for the concert, and maybe possibly get my boyfriend one for himself as well. What I mean by that is get him one that he can use for the night and then take it home with me. He's not a fan of Stray Kids. He's going because he's my boyfriend and he doesn't want me to go alone. That's pretty much what it is. I'm not letting him keep the shirt. And that's if I get it. That's if I get it. I might just get one for myself. Okay. So those 45 additional dollars, what I was doing with any extra in the month is I was putting it onto the high yield savings, but I did put an additional 300. So I think we're good with that. So this 45, I'm going to go ahead and add it to the surgery fund. Now this 545 and 31 cents that I have here, I have not transferred that over. I will transfer that when I make sure that I'm still within whatever the max is for the year. I think it's 4,000, but I want to double check and make sure. So it's just going to hold in there for now. Okay. So I do want to take a look and see kind of what the reports show for these 3 months. January to March. So we're definitely getting more data. We're definitely seeing kind of how everything is dipping, going up, going down, where things are moving. And we see here for income, it's gone a little bit up at 4,500. Again, all of that is pretty much having to do with the IRS refund, first of all. That was definitely extra. And any transfers and things like that have come in. Like this one here from my sister who gave me the 500 for the surgeries. So, that's because that's definitely not the norm. But it's good to see that there. Not going to expect it, of course. It's probably going to dip down in April pretty significantly. So that's fine. Let's see. We've got Allstate. Bashan was at $41. That's not bad. $38.95 for the monthly fees. That is not accurate. The monthly fees are actually somewhere along the lines of, I think, $90 at the moment. No. They've gone down. Somewhere around 60, I believe. But this is because Chase pretty much gave me 2 refunds on 2 of the DoorDash charges that I had. And I know I'm mentioning DoorDash again. What is going on here? But because they gave me those 2 refunds out of sync of when the actual payments happened, it marked them for March. So it marks it as a positive. It went down by like those $20 or so, which is why it's so low, which is fine by me. T-Mobile $213, and the vet insurance is actually less than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was more up to like 130, but it was just 107. So I think that's what I'm going to put in for now, which is not bad. So the fixed is kind of like in line with everything, average of 674. So that's kind of what it seems to be. And yes, the spending this month was not great for groceries, neither the first half of the month nor the second half of the month. They were all just a bust. 2 good months and 1 mediocre overspend. Did I have the money for it? Yes. But the point is to try and save more and not spend more. Now, admittedly, for some reason, things were just being used up a lot quicker. Whether you're talking about toilet paper or paper towels, which I do include in groceries. I don't have a separate for household goods. I don't want to get a receipt and have to split it every single time. And we'll talk about splits in a second too. Or milk just running out a lot faster. Eggs running out a lot faster. There are 5 people in this household and 4 of us eat eggs almost every day. So we get the 18 count. And right now the 18 count is going for $8 to $10. Imagine just on eggs in 1 month, 18 count. Let's say we get that once a week. That's $40. I mean, it's insane. And it's not that I get it every single time, but I could easily get it twice, if not 3 times. So minimum $20 just on eggs. It's very interesting. 20 doesn't sound like a lot, but that would already put me down to $230 for a 1/2 of the month. I'm still going along with this next 3 months doing $475 and just seeing how I can make that work. But I'm not going to, if I go over, I'm going to try to stay at a max of $500. This month doesn't show promise. Last month didn't really show promise. I definitely went over. I'm hoping that this month I can control it a little bit more and get back down to where I was. And if not, a little bit less. We'll see how that goes. For the non-monthlies, the car, obviously, the $1,100 repair, which fantastic. It drives wonderfully now. It definitely made a difference, including the maintenance that I did in there, the new oil change, and checking all the fluids, any tire rotations that were needed, things like that. Drives beautifully now. I'm feeling good about it. And then the dental surgery transfer to the HSA is gonna act like spending, of course, because it transferred out. So those are the 2 big things. Everything else, I didn't do my hair. It's very fluffy at the moment. Nice and fluffy. So I gotta go get it done. I did add a new annual subscription. I spent a little bit on one of my hobbies. I got a couple of things for the home that I didn't really plan on, but we do need. It getting really hot and bugs are starting to come out and they find their way inside the house. So I needed to get a couple of repellents and things like that for around the house, indoor, outdoor, and some cleaning, some really like heavy cleaning supplies and stuff like that. So among other things. Let's see what else. Yeah, everything else looks to be where it was supposed to be. So $1,800. Again, the biggest spending was definitely in the car fund for that repair. So for this month, $3,652 of spending. Definitely high up there. Hopefully in April, it will go down and it will start looking like it did in January and February. Fingers crossed. Okay. Let's take a look at April. So I'm going to go ahead and do a couple of updates to some of these categories. I'm going to be adding some notes into the category, the different categories, not all of them, but some of them, just so I can kind of keep track of what I'm paying from them. So let's see. And I do, as always, have my annual budget up for the roof payments. I went ahead and lengthened it a little bit more. So instead of, I think I had a June final payment, it's going to be August instead, just so I could add some additional money into the dental surgeries to try and bring it up a little bit quicker. I'm hoping to do the surgery either in October or November. I don't want it to do it in December. I don't want to deal with this at the end of the year. The stitches are annoying. We are in April. And I'm gonna just move this over so I can see it a little bit more clearly. For my cat, I'm gonna add the 60 here. Oh, that's right. The Chewy is pending. Let's see, was it the Freedom or the Sapphire? Yes, okay. It's pending, that's why it's not showing. Got it. All right. Okay, so here we go. So Banfield is moved. Banfield is part of the vet insurance situation. So I'm going to move that to here. And then NVIDIA, I canceled. So I'm going to move that down here. Okay. So technically, it should be around $60 that I am needing for the monthly fees now. It went from 112 or 115 to 105 to $60. That is not bad. That is not bad at all. I'm going to put 60, save that. And I'm going to go ahead and put that in there now. T-Mobile can wait. And then the vet. So we have Banfield, and let me take a look and see how much exactly did they charge me for nationwide. 60. I thought it was going to be a lot more, which is why I put 130 there, but it's not. So that's fine by me. I'm just going to do 60, round these up, and 34. Edit that target to $94. Let me check what dates they take these out. So Banfield is the 19th, nationwide is the 15th. So let me put that in here. Oops. Okay. So if they take them out on the 19th and the 15th, do I need to fund it all full right now? I don't think so. I don't think I need to. I'm going to fund half of it because that would not take care of Nationwide. I'm going to fund Nationwide first. And then with the second paycheck, I'll go ahead and fund Banfield. So I think I'll do it like that for now, just to see kind of where the money goes. Before I forget, let me actually do all of this first. So the $100 went through as well. No, 300 was in March. So, and then this is going to take out 200 and this is going to take out 300. I want to go ahead and fund those now because they are automatic and they're done within the first 5 days of the month. So I want to make sure that I have that set aside, and then everything else will just have to work around it. Okay. All right, so gas, I'm going to fund 30, which I believe is half of what I have here. So groceries, like I said, I'm going to go with the lower portion that I was going to do for these next 3 months, which is $475. So half of that, $237.50. So that's what I'm going to assign just for the one half. We'll see how this goes. I'm gonna fund, well, do I need the wellness right now? Wellness is gonna be for supplements and over-the-counter, Tylenol, Motrin, things like that. For right now, that's what it's going to be. If there's anything else, I'll pop it in there, but I don't think so for right now. So let's do 50 just in case. Annual subscriptions. I'm going to add Wondershare here. I'm going to add 60 for now. It might change. It might not. March. YNAB is January. Walmart is, I think Walmart is May. I think Amazon is August. And then Yes 24. Okay. Beauty and clothing. I definitely want this to be for hair, skincare. I don't buy a lot of it, but makeup, if it ever comes up. Clothing. So that's kind of like the main 4 things that will come into beauty and clothing. Oh, jewelry is actually a pretty big one. I love jewelry, especially gold jewelry, yellow gold. And I want to start getting like good pieces, nice pieces. Not, if I get something cheaper, that's fine, as long as it's like, it looks nice. But I also want to invest in some really good pieces that I'm going to use forever if need be. But that's not going to be anytime soon. That's not going to be anytime soon because I can't justify that right now. The car fund. Let's talk about the car fund because I did all of this. Do I want to save these notes? I'm not sure. Ooh, I'm going to save these notes. Not this one necessarily, but these. Specifically in the March notes. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, that's my cat. He says hi. Okay, so maintenance, repairs, tires. It's going there in its own little category because I have a thing with tires. They do not last on me. Battery, things like that. Okay, so those are kind of like the big things. You always gotta, change your battery, make sure it's healthy, any maintenance, any repairs, and tires. There we go. Okay. Let's see. Hobbies. Hobbies is a good one here. I am obsessed with crochet right now. I've been obsessed with it this whole entire year. I thought about learning crochet, I think 4 years ago, if not a little longer. And I was trying to do it from a book and it was really difficult. And for some reason, it didn't come into my brain to go to YouTube and try and, see videos and things like that. And then I picked it up again last year and my boyfriend got me a like this starter kit from Amazon. Not too expensive. It came with, pretty much everything that you would need for it. Some yarn, needles, hooks, things like that. So I've been learning more and more, and I have graduated from trying to learn, all of the different stitches and things like that to actually making things. Now, the yarn that I have is very cheap. It doesn't feel all that nice, to be honest, but that's okay. I'm just learning with it. I'm practicing here and there. I've made my sister an ear warmer, 2 bandanas, and I'm currently working on a tote bag. The tote bag is definitely taking the longest because the stitches are very tight. Well, it's not that they're tight, they're just very small. So hopefully I'll get there and finish it before moving on to something different. But it's been great. I've been loving it. It's really, for me, it's a good way to relax, kind of just simmer down. I put a video on and then I just listen because I'm not in the phase where I could just do it by feel. I need to see where my hook is going. But yeah. I do collect nail polish and use it. And I know that technically it's a beauty thing, but it's more of a hobby to me. So I'm going to put it in here. And games. Because games are a hobby for me. Speaking of, the Switch 2 is coming out in June. I will not be buying it, which feels really sad for me to say. but it's okay. I don't need it now. I don't need it then. I won't need it this year. I'll get it at some point, but more than likely, maybe not this year, and definitely not at launch. It'll probably be gone by the time I think myself into getting it, and then that'll stop me from getting it. So there we go. Problem solved. Okay. I think those are all the notes I currently wanted to do. Regarding the HOA, I kind of want to move it to annual and just not call it annual subscriptions, maybe call it something different. I'm not sure what, but I'll call it something at some point. I'm going to fund beauty because I am going to go get my hair done this weekend. I don't think I want to spend anything else on anything else. Let's see. I want to start putting money towards the car fund. So this is something that I was thinking about doing. And I think I'm going to. And that is adding a sinking funds category. Now, I tried sinking funds in the past, a few years ago, worked pretty well. And then last year, it kind of just went to the wayside. There was no good way to just save money without immediately using it. So I want to try it again, and I want to see what happens this time. I've done the main repair that I needed to do in the car. So now I'm going to try to add a little bit because I want to get it up to where if anything else happens, I have some money set aside. Purpose of a sinking fund, right? I want to move it to that new category. And I did contemplate moving it into the savings account and treating that as a savings and sinking funds account. But I don't want to muddy up the totals too badly. And I want to make sure that the fund total on the account matches the total on the category, just so I know that I'm not off. So for right now, I'm going to leave them separate. And I figured if the sinking fund gets to $1,000 or more, then I will go ahead and transfer that money into the savings account to take advantage of the interest. But for right now, it's only $50. It's not going to make a huge difference. So I'll just leave it in here. There's a couple of funds that are going to make it into the sinking funds. The home fund, after a while, is going to go in there. More than likely the annual. Oh, I could just name this the annual fund, honestly, and be done with it. And then, let's see. Tag renewal. I don't remember how much. I'll put it as 70 and November. By November, I want to do it. Let's move YNAB. There we go. Oh, that's still not right. Yes, 24 goes before it. There we go. And I'll think about moving the HOA in here. But the annual fund, I want to go ahead and fund it throughout the year just so it's all in there. And I don't have to do it in one amount when it comes. So that'll probably go in there. I don't want to do it now. I'm not going to be funding it throughout the year now. So I'm just going to leave it on non-monthly. Gifts might be something that I want to do. So there's a couple of categories that I'm thinking of as the year progresses, maybe moving them over. Most of them will probably move for next year where things are a little bit even running smoother. The roof is done. I just have the car left for my debts and things can be a little bit more exact month to month. There's always going to be changes to a budget, at least for me. Nothing is ever going to be exact month to month, but at least being able to have those expenses that come every once in a while and you just build so that you don't have to worry about it. That would be really good to have. I have the same problem that I always have where I have $278 and I don't know what to do with it. I always feel odd funding these categories that are not priority, but technically that's how I have it divided for my annual budget to kind of work. Is you fund priorities for the first half, and then the leftover is for non-priorities, however many you can fund. And then the second paycheck is for the second half priorities. And then the rest is to finish off funding anything that's scheduled, you know? So I'm going to fund Stray Kids. Oh, I was going to fund 100. Ooh, look at what I almost forgot. Utilities are coming out this month and I put them automatic, so they will be coming out when it's time. There we go. I'm not putting anything aside for travel fund right now. Next month and June for the June concert. That's where I'll put it in. Everyone, there's still $108. What do I do with this? Why is this always a struggle for me? I need to get over it and put things where I want to put them. You know what? You know what I'm going to do with this? Simple. There we go. So that only leaves me with $8.24. And I'm going to go ahead and put that. Let's put it towards T-Mobile. That's it. Pretty exact numbers there. I have the upcoming surgery funded a little bit. Not fully, of course, but we'll get there. I have the first half for groceries, gas, whenever I need to go anywhere, my cat's food, which I already ordered, the monthly fees, part of the vet insurance. So yeah, everything's looking good. And of course, the debts and high yield savings, those transfers are funded. So when they go through, they don't attack me out of nowhere. On another note, I'm going to go ahead and change the way I do reimbursements for the next 3 months. And then I'm going to see which one I like. For these next 3 months, what I'm going to do is instead of putting their portion that they send me as reimbursements and then having to split things because I'm kind of tired of splitting, I'm going to go ahead and instead add it to the specific category. So I'm going to do it like that and I'm going to see which of the two I prefer. And this is from a comment that I received a couple of videos ago, which I kept in mind because it definitely sounded like maybe it would be a little bit of an easier way, but I wanted to give a fair shot to both ways of doing. So that's what we're going to do for these next 3 months. Okay, so let me see if there's anything else to do here. I've got money in the relevant categories where I need them to be. I've got the new notes. Just kind of detailing sort of what I want to spend on some of these categories, how I want to spend the categories, and things like that. So that's good. I can't wait to get my hair done. I can't wait to get these stitches out of my gums. And I can start actually flossing on that side again because they said, don't floss those. And I said, okay. I tried to floss around and everything is kind of still tender. The sensitivity has gone down. I can drink cold water again, but it's still a little tender. Not bad. It's not painful, just not easy to get in there for the other teeth. So, all right. But that's it. I don't have anything else. Yeah, everything is looking good. Again, I'm so super excited for how far that savings account has come in just 3 months. It's amazing. So glad I got the car repaired. Now I can just focus on building that fund. So any additional repairs, maintenance things can be worked out. I'm excited. Thank you so much, everyone, as always, for watching, commenting. I really do appreciate it. That's all for today. Thank you so much, everyone. Hope you enjoyed it and have a wonderful day.